Hi, I'm Dory, and today I am drawing a portrait of Katniss Everdeen from the Hunger Games series. I very recently finished reading these books, and I know I am so late to this party. I didn't have time to read them before, and when I did have time, I didn't actually have access to the books. So a friend of mine actually loaned me her copies of the books, thank you Misty, and I was finally able to read them, and I fell in love with them. They're really very good books. They're very high energy. They're the type of book that you read very quickly. You pick it up and you can't put it down. It's that kind of action, and I really did enjoy them. I really did. I find I don't have enough time to read and sit and enjoy books as much as I did when I was younger, and I miss it. I do. I love reading, so it was a treat to read something so good and so engaging. I have not yet finished watching the movies they made from the story. I watched the first two, and I gotta say I was very impressed with the fact that they stayed fairly true to the books. Anyone that's into reading knows that's not something you find very often. Whenever they take a book and turn it into a movie, they generally change everything. They don't very often stay true to the details of a story. And in the movies I've seen so far, they seem to have actually done that, to have stayed fairly true, and that was nice. That was a good treat to have. Let's see, I really did, I did admire this character, Katniss. I wanted to draw her because, again, this is something you don't find very often, but she's a strong female lead who's very believable and very relatable, and I feel like she really very strongly represented the female gender in a very positive way, and that's not something you see very often. She wasn't, even though there was a lot of lovesick, romantic aspects to the storylines, all of that confusion came from the male characters in the book. She was never really super lovesick, hung up on relationship stuff. That was all the guys. Ironically, the character that I relate to the most in these stories, the character I relate to the most is Peeta, one of the male leads in the story, and I think it's just because he is a very kind person, and also he's an artist, so yeah, I found the artist aspect of him and his character very relatable, and he's also incredibly loyal and very clever, and the way he thinks, the way that character thinks, is very similar to the way I think about things. So, yeah, I did relate more to Peeta than I did to Katniss, but Katniss has something about her that you have to appreciate, you have to love, there's something relatable about the vulnerable strength that she possesses, and I really appreciate this character very much. Well, let's see, one thing I wanted to do with this drawing, because it is an incredibly complicated drawing, it took me 3 days to complete this work, and I did have to take a lot of breaks. Yeah, it took a long time to complete this. Hours and hours of work went into this. But I wanted to take my time and really do a good job and focus on the small details, because I wanted to show that it is possible, if you have patience and you take your time, it is possible to create something amazing, a really good piece of art with very limited supplies. I drew this on printer paper, very cheap office printer paper, and I used only an office supply, mechanical pencil, and an art eraser. That is it. Those are the only supplies that I used in the creation of this drawing. Copy paper, a mechanical pencil, and an eraser. You'll see occasionally there's a white pencil looking thing in my hand. That's the eraser. My eraser looks like a pencil. So I'm literally using 3 things. Extremely cheap paper, extremely cheap pencil, and I'm getting all of these variations in hue, all these shadows, these lights, these darknesses, all this blending. All of this is from a mechanical pencil on printer paper. I really wanted to be able to show that people seem to think that you have to have expensive art supplies to create good art, and I strongly disagree. I strongly disagree. This is something that I am incredibly proud of. This artwork is beautiful. It's, I think, honestly, one of the best things I've ever drawn, and I did it with incredibly limited supplies. And I just took my time and really made the best out of what I had available to me. So this is actually how I kind of taught myself how to draw. I didn't have very many supplies in the beginning. People have, you know, since given me Christmas and birthday presents, different pencils and things like that. But this is how I learned, was with basically the bare minimum, nothing. So I just wanted to really kind of show and make a strong point that you do not need expensive art supplies to make good art. So yeah, this little end piece that you're seeing, where I'm working on the background, I know backgrounds aren't nearly as interesting as working on the face of the portrait, so this background part is sped up quite a bit so that you don't have to watch me working on trees for a long time. But I did spend quite a long time on these trees. It's just been sped up quite a lot faster than the rest of the portrait part of it, and that was just to spare you guys. But I am so proud of how this came out. This, like I said, 3 days of work, but very, very, very much worth my time. I hope that you guys like this. Go ahead and tell me what you think in the comment section down below. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up, and I'm gonna go ahead and go now. I'll leave you with some music until the end. Enjoy. Thank you so much for watching.